Welcome back to this playthrough of Beyond the Titanic, a text adventure game by Scott Miller. The last episode, we discovered a spaceship because, of course, it was aliens. We entered the ship, we healed our two broken arms, we ate a pill which fed us supper, we took a spacesuit off a dead alien, and we warped through time and space in a futuristic time travel chair, landing us here. So let's continue. Western Bridge. This is a completely foreign place to you. The ship's interior has vanished. Still a little dizzy, you stand up and grab a nearby rail, clearing the water from your eyes. You realize that you're standing on a bridge, which leads both north and south. Underneath flows a torrid river heading eastward. The panoramic horizon appears bleak somehow, as though life was a rarity. All around you everything looks neglected and decayed. In the distance you hear a low rumbling noise, like thunder or an explosion. Broken end. This is the broken end of the bridge, where a large section has collapsed into the rapid waters below. The unreachable north bank reveals a desolate wasteland to the horizon. The bridge continues southward from here. Lying near the end of the bridge is an unusual object. Take all. Coin is taken. Examine coin. The object is a tarnished United States quarter, dated in the year 2111. Woo! Crazy. What a strange object. I think the only purpose of the coin is to sort of establish where you are, which I guess that you're in the United States. The post-nuclear United States, post-apocalyptic nuclear event United States, I guess. So, we've already been there. South end. This is the southern end of the collapsed bridge. Further south, the dirt path joins a dusty road which follows the river. The bridge arcs over the river to the north. Deserted road. This is a discarded dirt road. I think it's supposed to be deserted. Dirt road heading both east and west. Any tracks have been long washed away with the wind. You can still view the bridge to the north. The south bank of the road consists of a sheer concrete wall. So we go west here. Crater's edge. The road ends abruptly here. Below you lies a steep slope leading into a vast crater to the west. You estimate that the crater is at least 2 miles across. You wonder how this enormous pit in the earth came to be. I wonder how that would have happened. All around you are dozens of large boulders. You notice too that the crater is dotted with similar boulders. You are also startled by the numerous footprints in this area. The dusty road forms a nearly straight path to the east. Alright, carefully climb down the steep slope into the deep crater. Nearly halfway down, you slip and tumble to the bottom, losing all possessions in the process. You pick yourself up and look around. Black box dropped, coin dropped, gun dropped, alien suit dropped. You now hold no special possessions. Crater floor. This is the bottom of a deep, dusty, boulder-filled crater, at least 2 miles wide. To the east, you can see the worn path where you entered the huge pit. Footprints like the one you saw above the crater cover the entire area. A mangled piece of wire is laying here, half buried under some dirt. Take wire. Piece of wire is taken, so east. You walk around exploring the scattered boulders and following footprints. So the crater is another endless wandering area. If you walk around, you'll just get the same text, but we need to go east to get out of the crater, so it'll take us a few tries. The road ends abruptly here. We are at all this. But here's all our stuff. Black box is here, coin is here, gun is here, alien suit is here. Take all. All is taken. We're going to keep going east. Deserted road. This is a discarded dirt road. Right, so inventory. So at this point, you want to have all 5 objects, because what actually didn't happen here, and I guess it's a little bit RNG, is that somebody will come and steal your stuff, and then you have to sort of track all your stuff down. So you should have, in order to finish the game, you need to have the black box, the piece of wire, and the alien suit. And if you want to keep, the coin is pointless. And if you want to keep the gun for stuff later, you can, but it's optional only. It's not a requirement. So I have everything, all 5 objects, but if you just want to get the black box and the wire and the suit and don't want to chase after the people that steal your stuff for the other two objects. I understand that I'm talking about this like someone would actually play this game, but that's all you need to continue from this point. But this part of the game is really confusing, especially when someone keeps like robbing you. So here's the real confusing part. So we're going to keep going east. You walk about 50 meters up the road. Deserted road. This is a deep deserted road leading both east and west. The steep sides of the road are built out of thick concrete slabs. In the distance you hear a low rumbling noise like thunder or an explosion. So twice in this game you've entered eternal wandering areas. One of the places was below the sea where we saw the Titanic, and the other place was just now at the crater. So twice we've reached areas where if you wander around, you just wander. You'll never find anything. If you wander around in the crater for too long, you'll just keep getting robbed by the people. And if you wander around in the Titanic area, like below the sea, you'll just starve to death. So right after the crater, which was also an eternal wandering area, you have to like commit, like take a leap of faith that continuing to go east won't kill you. So you walk 50 miles up the road, you walk 50 miles up the road, and you have to do this quite a bit. Like I turned back. I was stuck here for a long time. I couldn't figure out where you were supposed to go. But finally, if you keep going east, you walk to the deserted road. This is a deep deserted road leading east and west. The steep banks are reinforced with thick concrete and appear unclimbable. A separate dirt path breaks off to the south. So we finally got to the next part. Building front. You are standing at the north end of a large 4-story building. The windowless walls are lined with corroded cracks, and surrounding land appears to be completely neglected. The large glass doors to the south have long been broken and twisted out of shape, with jagged edges angling in all directions. You carefully make your way through the shattered rubble and broken doorway. This is the building's main lobby area, full of broken chairs and tables. Rubble and crash litter the cracked marble floor. To the south is a shimmering wall of orange light. A small sign hangs beside the beams. The broken glass door is behind you to the north. Office room. Oh, alright. Still not convinced of your decision, you enter the brilliant orange beams. Each limb of your body seems to suddenly vanish as it penetrates the electric barrier. In an instant, you materialize at a new location. Office room. This is an empty room, but for the rubble. Exits lie in many directions. Office room. Office room. Northwest. This is an empty room, but for the rubble. Exits lie in many directions. You notice a strange updraft. Basement. This is a strangely lit room below the building. Empty shelves cover the walls. A big blue cabinet sits against the north wall. The stairs to the south lead back to an office. So open door with wire. You bend down to the rusty locks level and insert the piece of wire into the hole. You spend several minutes wiggling and twisting the wire, trying to pick the lock open. Your patience just about expires when, click, the cabinet door swings open. Examine, what is it? Cabinet. Oh, yes, examine contents, sorry. I don't know. Yeah, it won't. Oh, examine. Examine contents. The struggle is real. Alright, well, whatever. There's a helmet and there's... What else is there? There's a key. So I'm just going to take all. Shiny key, taken. Helmet. You have too many objects. So here's the management coming in. But drop wire. Take helmet. So we don't need the wire anymore. Right. So take helmet. Okay, we're going south. Office room. This is an empty room, but for the rubble. Exits lie in many directions. You notice a strange updraft. Southeast, southwest. Ladder room. This is another empty room, but for the rubble and a rusty ladder going up to a square hole in the ceiling. An exit lies to the northeast. So we're going up. Building roof. You are standing on the roof of a large building. From here you can view a lot of the surrounding area. To the west lies the huge crater. To the south is an open desert spanning to the horizon. The broken bridge stretches halfway across the stream into the northwest, while the stream flows towards the southeast. Built into a roof are two large concrete circles. On one is an unusual vehicle, which looks like it's in fairly good shape. So enter shuttle. Inside the shuttle, you are sitting inside the vehicle. In front of you is a complicated control panel covered with buttons, dials, and lights. Of particular interest is an oversized white button with a small keyhole above it. Also catching your eye is a large lever coming from the floor. To the right of the lever is a bright red sign. So put on helmet. The helmet seems to mold to the shape of your head when you put it on. Insert key into keyhole. The shiny key fits perfectly into the keyhole. Push white button. A beep tone from the speaker signals your action. Ooh, we turned it on. Without warning, the shuttle's engine begins to hum with activity. Suddenly, you are jolted back into the seat as the shuttle raises from the roof and high into the sky. You finally level out about half a mile below the thick cloud cover. Above desert, you've entered the desert area, except for the lack of rolling sand dunes. The whole area does not seem natural, as if it was once pasture teeming with life. On the horizon, you can see a few mountains. Above the clouds... Oh, wait. The shuttle's engines seem to strain and vibrate as the nose angles upwards. You are again forced back into your seat as the shuttle moves closer to the thick layer of clouds above. Turbulence rocks the shuttle around as it enters the clouds. You can see nothing. Within moments, however, the shuttle rises above the cloud barrier. You are greeted with an amazing and unbelievable sight, a gigantic floating structure resembling a large city. Above clouds. You are flying above dense, hazy clouds which obscure your view of the ground. The clouds stretch in all directions as far as the eye can see. To the east is a massive city-like structure floating effortlessly in the air. Tall buildings and other towers climb ever higher into space. From underneath the city, a strange glow radiates downward, penetrating the dusty clouds. It's difficult to see details from this distance, though. The shiny key is in the keyhole. You fly a short distance above the clouds outside the city. You are flying quite close to the floating city now, which is about 200 yards away. From here you can see a network of roads and enclosed tubes within the city, forming an obvious transportation system. Strangely, though, you don't see any signs of life. The shiny key is in the keyhole. I think I go west now. North. You fly a short distance above the clouds outside the city. You are flying close to the north side of the floating city. From here, you can see a large flat area within the buildings, roads, and towers. You also see what looks like another vehicle sitting there, like the one you are flying. The shiny key is in the keyhole. I guess you could take it out, but I wouldn't recommend it. Land shuttle. The shuttle tilts forward a little and heads southward, dropping slightly in altitude. As you move closer to the landing area, you notice some rubble directly in your path. Too late to react, though, you brace yourself against the seat as the shuttle hits the jagged piece of concrete. The shuttle slides for about 60 feet before coming to rest. As you check yourself over, you notice a thin wisp of smoke coming from the shuttle's controls. You are inside the damaged shuttle, wrecked from the slight collision from the jagged concrete to the north. A thin line of smoke is rising from the shuttle's controls. The shuttle is resting on a large concrete bay of some kind. You can see a stairway leading down to the southeast. To the north, you can see the clouds looming on the horizon, while in all other directions, towers block your view. The shiny key is in the keyhole. Right, so we're in the shuttle. Take off helmet. Alright, the helmet's now off. So the reason the helmet has to come off is that you can't wear the suit without the helmet. But so this is kind of interesting. It leads to a bit of a glitch. If you put on your suit in the bridge, like when you take it, if you put it on right away and play through the whole game, the thief or one of the thieves in the crater can actually steal the suit from you even though you're wearing it. And the game remembers that the suit is stolen, but it also remembers that you're wearing the suit. So when you get inside the shuttle to put on the helmet, the game will keep telling you, you have to take the suit off, you have to take the suit off, and you'll be stuck in this quandary of the game remembering that you're wearing the suit, but also remembering that the suit was stolen. So every time you try to take the suit off, the game is like, you don't have the suit, but you need the suit off to put the helmet on. So it's kind of a mistake. So we're out in the landing bay. This is a large concrete bay. Your shuttle sits to the south, slightly bent up near the bottom. Huge towers with interlacing tubeways provide a panoramic view, except to the north where you can see out into the nothingness. The dark path of steps to the southeast leads down to a tower. So if you go north, actually, it will tell you, do you really want to fall over the side of the floating city? So we're going southeast. Power plant. You are in a small room with the walls lined with controls, machines, dials, and screens. There is no activity between any of them, however. The steps to the northwest lead back to the concrete bay. Another doorless passage leads east into a dimly lit room. So we're going east. Dark corridor. This area is only a small section of a long corridor heading both north and south. Passages exit both east and west also. East, we're getting the same screen. South, food supply. I think you can go into a corridor where you start to smell the smell here, but so it'll say. You enter the room thinking about the distinctly repulsive smell. From the corner of the room you hear a strange gurgling noise. Look up and freeze in your tracks. Standing there with slime dripping from its gaping mouth is a creature groveling in the food supply, its 3 arms shoveling food into its jaws with timed precision. Hearing your sweat drip on the floor, the creature looks up, sees you, and lunges toward you with burning eyes. One of my favorite things about this point to end it is just the idea of the monster hearing you because your sweat is dripping on the floor. I love that. I love to think about what that would look like. So there's actually a Beyond the Titanic 2 that was supposed to include graphics. It's just a fan-made game. It didn't get any further than the lifeboat, but you can see some playthroughs of it online. But I really wish this game had visuals because there's a lot of points in this game where you're just like, yeah, that works as text, but when you see it, this would look really weird. And this is one of those moments where I'm just like, oh, I can just see the pixelated close-up of the protagonist's face with like sweat, enough sweat that you could hear it dripping on the ground. Like, who sweats like that? Anyway, please come back for episode 5, which I swear is the conclusion of this game, and we will discover, do we survive the crazy 3-armed garbage dinosaur, which ostensibly has blue fur, although I don't think it's ever mentioned again. But this is the dinosaur from the cage, or a relation of the dinosaur from the cage that we saw in the cavern. So come back to the next episode and find out the conclusion of Scott Miller's Beyond the Titanic. This is Guy saying, see you soon.